Hi everyone, my name's Caleb Coles. I'm an Australian singer-songwriter. So we are going to be looking at Tengri and Dimash singing Swan Goose. So I have done a Tengri reaction before, and he's got this phenomenal unique style. He's got a throat singing influence as well as a more contemporary influence to his singing. And of course, Dimash is Dimash. Is there anything he can't do vocally? So it's going to be so interesting to hear them sing together. Let's get into this reaction. If you end up enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe. Let's get started. Wow, they haven't even started singing and there's stuff to talk about. I love the traditional Chinese instruments there, and then obviously that's a type of throat singing and overtone singing actually. And the way you do that is you focus your resonance in your mouth and then you move your tongue in order to say like, I can't do it very good, but if you were to listen closely, if you want to put your video back and you listen to the high ring, just my mouth position and my tongue position is just moving it a little bit. Now, I've barely done any of that kind of style, so I'm very, very bad at it. But you could hear how good he was. All you could really hear was the manipulation of the overtone. You could barely even hear the fundamental note, which just shows how much training has gone into doing that. So anyway, let's keep watching. That's cool. Wow.
江水长，秋草黄，草原上琴声忧伤。
Beautiful. Great head resonance when he was singing there.
Састал қаптан көк аспан жол тартқан жүректе ата мекен.
How cool are these instruments that really upbeat? I know it's more traditional Chinese style, but it also reminds me of some of the Irish kind of folk stuff with those stringed instruments and the kind of fiddle kind of style. It's very similar, even though they originated in different regions. And also contemporary kind of a blend. So that sounds awesome. And how awesome was hearing Tengri. He had this the resonance here, and then Dimash comes in with a just a little bit more of that resonance, which is slightly different, a bit warmer from Dimash, and a little bit more kind of ethereal from Tengri. Although I know both singers can also do the opposite, but it's just cool to hear that kind of dynamic. Let's keep watching. awesome. What was that? Up to the E. That was cool. Okay, so it's obviously got a very stop-start feeling. It almost feels like a medley, like things pieced together. But that was really cool. I love his voice cracks into it. That's really cool. That's almost a Middle Eastern kind of influence and Eastern European kind of influence there. A type of singing I've never really done, but it sounded phenomenal. I love how he goes up to that E as well. Nice soaring power. Yeah, I think the audio is slightly out from the visual, because there are a few moments where Tengri didn't look like he was actually singing, but and a little bit similar with Dimash, but I actually just think that the audio is slightly out of sync with the mouth, because there are a few moments there where Tengri, when he moved his mouth, the sound was a little bit out of sync. And it's really interesting how Tengri has very small mouth movements. He's making big noises, but his mouth is only slightly open. He's always like, yeah, but his mouth is that's just a way to manipulate the sound and the overtones again. How cool is that, seeing something so unusual, so many different styles and melodies and just interwoven into this kind of patchwork. I loved, let's just listen. I really loved, yeah, this part. Up to the E, yeah, and he's just so good, Dimash is. And then later on, Tengri does a really cool note where Dimash goes up and then Tengri's down the octave. Might even be down 2 octaves. I think it's just 1 octave. Yep. Yep, so that's the G. Yeah, really cool. That was a real treat, because I liked that this is the kind of song that makes you go on a bit of a trip, a bit of a journey. It's not linear. It doesn't go, verse, chorus, end, maybe with a bridge in the middle. It's part A, part B, part C, part D, and you end down the journey, not where you started, and so many twists and turns, different melodies, different styles, unusual instruments. It just is a real treat. And this is part of what I love about music is that art and music accesses different parts of your mind, different parts of your brain to the normal pathways. And that's why poetry and song can help you see things in a different way and experience things in a new way and look at the world differently. And so I like this because it sends me to a place I haven't been before, which is really great. So I'm sure there's so much more I could say about this, and I'm sure after I watch this a few more times, I will go, oh, why didn't I mention that? That was so cool. But that was my initial reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Thanks, guys.